I dream of a time in not the too distant future where we will be economically empowered enough to undertake foreign tours. In terms of commitment, it's not, the choristers are top notch.
Anthony, it is so lovely to speak to you, and you are in Lagos at the moment in Nigeria.
Yes, please, Lagos, Nigeria.
Yeah, and tell me, what do? You have the choir, and you are the choir master.
Yes, in Nigeria, we don't, the term choir is exclusively reserved for church settings.
Yeah.
But you have the church usually has the choir, but you have professional groups outside the church that are called chorales. So what we actually have, what I have is a chorale, and that's how it reflects in the name. Our name is the Vox Angelica Chorale.
Okay.
So it's a private group, not a church group.
Okay. And how old are your choir members?
Yes, we have the average age is 24.
Okay. And these people, are they all singers? Are they musicians, or where do they come from?
Yeah, apart from one or two that are currently studying music, the other ones are basically what I will call amateur singers who just have the interest, who have the zeal for choral music. And many of them actually have declared the intention to formally study music at a point. But for now, 80% of the group are not professional musicians. They're just people that are choristers in their churches and love choral music.
I see. And how do they get in this choir? Do you audition them? Do they have to have, a certain amount of experience from other choirs?
Yes, we have auditions 3 times a year, where people we advertise, and people indicate interest. They come, we ask them questions. They undertake practical examination and all that. Then there are some also I invite personally. Maybe I go to an event, I see someone whose performance I like. I reach out to such people and invite them. So basically, it's either through auditioning or through direct invitation by the music director.
Okay. And how big is your choir? How many members do you have?
Currently, we have 50 members. 50 is the strength of the choir now.
I see. So it's a big choir.
Yeah.
Yeah. And now you're on your way to a rehearsal with the choir, and you have, what is the program you're going to sing on Sunday?
Yes, we are going to present what is generally believed to be Handel's, George Frederic Handel's first English oratorio. That's Esther.
Okay.
Yes.
And why did you choose this oratorio?
As a child, Esther, the story of Esther in the Bible, has always been one of my favorites. That is one. Then secondly, I look at the strength and experience of my choir. Like Esther is one of the oratorios by Handel that have the fewest number of choruses. There are a lot of arias and a lot of solos, but the oratorio has just 7 choruses, and all those choruses are basically in 4 parts harmony. Not like some other oratorios like Saul that has a lot of double harmonies and things. So basically, from the point of view of simplicity, for the experience of my choir, Esther just used the bill. And of course, from my childhood love of that story in the Bible.
Okay. And now, how difficult is it for your choir, if they are not professional, to learn these, learn this music?
Yeah, we've been on it since September 2019.
Yeah.
Those choruses. Initially, what I wanted to do was have my choristers perform everything, both the choruses and the arias by themselves. But at a stage, we started having challenges in the choristers effectively reproducing what I expect for those areas. So what we agreed now to do, which is what's going to happen on Sunday, is just a choir. I've been able to really groom them to master those 7 choruses and sing them very well. It has not been easy, actually. Then we got 4 professionals from outside to do the arias for us: 1 soprano, 1 alto, 1 tenor, and 1 bass.
Okay. And now, how did you end? What made you, or what inspired you to start this choir? What is your background in music?
I am Catholic, and I was a major seminarian in training for the Catholic priesthood. Then in seminary, I was very, very involved in the choir. I was one of the choir masters, but I didn't continue. So when I left, I also started going around helping choirs around Lagos here and in other parts of Nigeria. I found out that the average church choir setting is kind of limiting for most choristers who want to explore further. Like in the church, we don't do things other than hymns with sacred themes and anthems and all what sort. But music, choral music, far extends beyond those boundaries. And there are a lot of these young ones who want to actually explore. Now, in my church, the Catholic Church, you cannot do a Negro spiritual, for example, during the Mass. Even the classical pieces, we practice it. It's not all of them you can do appropriately within the confines of the Mass. So I thought when I left university and I was not immediately employed, now why don't I get some of these young ones together and see if we can take them further in their knowledge of choral music. And of course, most of them that started with us went back to their different church choirs and brought a lot too in terms of improvement and musical knowledge. So that's basically it.
Okay. And now your choir, do they get paid? Are they permanently employed as the choir?
As much as we would have loved to do that, we have a lot of limitations, economic limitations, that is.
Yeah.
Since 2001, we started, a total of 168 people have gone through the group as members. We don't. The high turnover rate is due to some factors. One, these are young people who grow up to a stage and have to leave for higher institutions. Maybe go to university, Some of them relocate within the country, some relocate to outside. So we would have wanted to tie them down to some kind of stipend to at least get them committed to what we do. But since we are not so economically empowered, we let them do what maybe someone gets a job outside that pays better and has to leave Lagos. We don't have the power to tie them down to Lagos because of the chorale. So we've had a really high turnover of members. For instance, of the 22 that we started with in 2001, it's just 4 that we sing with us at this concert. And over the years, there are just 4 of them that are still with the group that will sing with us at this concert 21 years after. So perhaps if we have been able to, we have been economically independent enough to be financially independent enough to tie them to a stipend or a salary, we would have had more people staying on for longer periods of time.
Okay. And now this performance that you have on Sunday, you have it there at the university, at that theater there?
Yes, the University of Lagos, the place is JF Ade Ajayi Auditorium. I'm standing in front of the place right now, yes.
Yeah, and the audience, are people interested and you know, do you have big audiences that come for the choral music?
The auditorium is a 1,000-seater one. We have 1,000 seats, and we printed tickets to correspond to the number of seats we have. And the reports I have now is that as at now, 90% of the tickets have already been sold. Okay. The remaining 10% we still hope to sell between now and Sunday. If there are still some tickets remaining, we'll sell them at the venue. If not, every member of the audience we expect on that day will be ones that have already pre-bought their tickets. Okay.
So, but this is so wonderful to hear about your choir and this wonderful work that you are doing, and I wish you much success for your performance on Sunday, and also for the rest of the time that you work with the choir. But first, I want to ask you now: what is your wish for the choir? What is your wish for the future?
I dream of a time in not the too distant future where we will be economically empowered enough to undertake foreign tours. In terms of commitment, it's not, the choristers are top notch. They are really committed to the cause, and they want to, maybe I didn't mention this initially during the course of our discussion. Classical music is like an endangered species in the Nigerian society, Nigerian art and musical society for now. And this is not a situation we are very comfortable with. That was why I said yesterday during our discussion that though we are not exclusively limited to classical music, we have a bias for it. We do many other things, but classical music is a huge favorite among our members. So we look forward to a time we can take our art outside the shores of this country and show the world what we can do. Also wish for a time we can be more economically empowered to be able to give our choristers an appreciable stipend for all the sacrifice they make. I hope that time comes sooner than later.
Yeah, and this is what you say. It's the dedication that they have to this choir because they do it for the love of the music.
Exactly. Exactly. Not for any money, not for any stipend, not for any material gain, just love of the music.
Yeah. And you said also before that you love to do Baroque music.
Yes.
Mhm. And what is it about Baroque that you love so much?
Not just Baroque music, but with special emphasis on Handel himself. Like prior to now, in my church choir, when I was still a choir master in the church, I've performed, I've trained and performed 2 other Handel oratorios. This will be my 3rd oratorio now. In 2016, I did Judas Maccabeus by Handel. In 2017, I did the popular Messiah that everybody all over the world knows and appreciates. The main thing I like about Baroque music is the fullness of the orchestra backing. The fullness, the orchestral backing is always so robust. At least in comparison to later composers, the classical composers or the Romantic era composers. For Baroque music, is the instrumentation and the orchestration is always very full. And Handel himself has a unique way of writing and of composing, different from every other classical music or Baroque era composer. So those are the things for me for Baroque music.
So would you say Handel is your favorite composer then?
It is my absolute favorite, yes.
Really? Okay. Well, I will remember that when I hear again Handel music, that Anthony from from Nigeria, that is his favorite composer. Well,
Yeah.
Anthony, I wish I could hear your choir sing. So I'm going to ask you if you could make a short video with your phone of your choir and then send it to me. Will you do that?
Oh, I will do that, yes. So set up now. I'll get somebody who will do it and I'll send.
Yes, because I want to see you in action, how you conduct your choir.
Okay.
On Zoom.
Okay. I'll do that. I'll do all that.
Yeah, Anthony, this was lovely and it worked out in the end.
Yeah, so
that we could speak.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I really, from my heart, wish you all the best for your choir. You've worked hard since 2019, and I'm sure it's going to be spectacular on Sunday.
I believe so too. I believe so. Thank you so much. Thank you.
Thank you, Anthony, and thank you so much for your time. And have a lovely rehearsal tonight with your choir. And send them, please, all my best wishes as well.
Thank you so much. I'll send them. Thanks so much. I appreciate it.